Catherine here. I am coming at you today from the Wind River Range in Wyoming. We are getting ready to start a hike here at the Pole Creek trailhead, and we are going to be hiking out to the Titcomb Basin. I'm very excited. Been wanting to hike this area for a very long time. It is August 1st, and today marks the third month that I've been on the road full time. So it's a kind of a celebratory day, a little anniversary, if you will. It's been amazing so far, and I can't think of a better way to celebrate than to head out on a backpacking trip. Joining me today is a gentleman that some of you may recognize. He has a YouTube channel as well. And why don't you introduce yourself, sir?
Hello everyone, my name is Bryan Delay, and this is the first time I've backpacked with Catherine, and I'm really excited about this trip up to Titcomb Basin.
Awesome. Yeah, we met each other last night at a local campground, and as I was just telling Bryan a few minutes ago, I feel like I've known him for a very long time. We've been watching each other's videos for quite a while, and it's really cool to be out on this trip with him. He invited me, so I want to thank him for that, and yeah, we're going to hit the trail. This is grizzly country, although Bryan says that the likelihood that we may see one is fairly low. I will have my bear spray handy, however. Okay, I'm going to have Bryan show you on this map here where we are headed.
We are here at Trails End Campground, the Pole Creek Trailhead, and then we're going to take Pole Creek Trail over this way and then up past Seneca Lake, up to Titcomb Basin, and then back out.
Our starting elevation today is about 9,300 feet. That's higher than I've been in quite a while, actually. The higher mountains in Washington are around 7,000 feet. So yeah, this is more like a Sierra starting point. Not sure how the elevation is going to affect me. A little bit out of breath already. It's kind of warm today, but I think I'll do just fine. I didn't mention it in the beginning there, but this is a 3-night, 4-day trip. Beautiful bouquet of Indian paintbrush. All right, we are entering the Bridger Wilderness in the Bridger Teton National Forest as we hear some thunder rolling by. Had to break out the rain gear, feeling some raindrops here. Someone's holding out back there.
Optimist.
He's the optimist. Hoping it just passes quickly. What are you thinking so far, Bryan?
It's wet. I feel like I'm back in Tennessee.
We're going to go ahead and go about 5 miles to Elkland Lake and set up camp there. It's cooled off to 53 degrees and we started about 75 degrees. So we've cooled off quite a bit there. The original plan was to go 7 miles, so we'll be stopping at about 5. Come upon a beautiful little pond. We are now at Photographer's Point. Absolutely beautiful views. You can see why they call it that. All right, we found this sweet little camp spot here at Elkland Lake. We've gone about 5 miles. It is currently not raining, and that's why we decided to go ahead and take this spot. We want to get camp set up before the rain starts again. We're playing it safe today. We had planned to go a little bit further, but that's okay. We'll have a nice dry camp and maybe even have a campfire here.
There's no pulling the rope over the limb. It just goes through that chain like it acts like a pulley.
Bryan is setting up this food hanging pulley system for us. It's pretty amazing. Well, Well, it is mosquito central once again. Last 3 trips, you know, it's just been mosquito hell. So I have the bug net back on again, and I'm still wearing my rain gear, and that is just to protect me from being bitten. Here's our beautiful little lake that we're camped on, and the sun decided to make an appearance. So we probably could have kept hiking. This is a nice spot. Food's cooking, and I'm having, I like that 3 cheese macaroni and cheese so well. Having it again.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it is good. So I'll have it 2 nights. But I mean, I'm glad we waited, because the day that we wound up deciding to move was on the 4th of July. It wound up being beautiful. Good morning. It's day 2. We sat around the campfire last night till about 10 p.m. just talking. It was really awesome, and got a great night's sleep. It's a beautiful day today, as you can see. Clear skies, hoping it stays that way. The plan today is to hike all the way to Titcomb Basin. I believe it's about 7 miles until we get to the head of it, and then we'll see how far in we want to go from there. I understand the scenery is going to get really beautiful today, so I'm very excited about that. Not that it wasn't yesterday. It was really pretty as well, and I actually enjoyed hiking in the rain for a bit. Really looking forward to getting on the trail today and to see what we have in store. Okay, we have camp all packed up, and we are ready to hit the trail. It's a warm day. I think we're gonna have just a beautiful day. I'm very optimistic, and I'm excited to see this scenery today. Look at this beautiful view right off the bat. All right, here we go. Coming into some views now. I believe this is Hobbs Lake, and this is where we intended to camp last night. Gotta say, life on the road has been pretty amazing so far. First 3 months, 6 states, 7 national parks. It's been incredible. You know, lots of national forests and lots of amazing campsites in my rig. It's been incredible. No regrets. We've been hiking for about 2 hours, and we think it's time for a little snack break here. What are you thinking of the hike so far, Brian?
Absolutely beautiful. A few rollers to go over, not very steep, but just stunningly beautiful.
Just look at all of these flowers. Gorgeous. Holy moly, look at this view. That Seneca Lake down below us. Pretty gorgeous here. Well, I just wanted to jump on and say I am highly impressed. This place is beautiful. I am not disappointed whatsoever. This is Little Seneca Lake. Another view of Little Seneca Lake. Pretty amazing wall there. Definitely getting into the high alpine. I don't even really have adequate words to describe what I'm looking at right now. And I understand this isn't even the most beautiful thing I'll be seeing today. I'm just blown away. Makes me emotional, actually. Not sure why all this food's hanging on the sign here, but I wanted to show you that I'm on the Continental Divide Trail now. Pretty cool. Okay, this might be one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen. This is absolutely unbelievably gorgeous. This is Island Lake.
And the beginning of Titcomb Basin.
And if you hear Bryan back there, the beginning of Titcomb Basin. There's even a waterfall right there. Well, this is camp at Island Lake. Can you believe it? This is going to be the view outside of my tent door. And I agree with Bryan. He was saying this is probably one of the most beautiful campsites he's ever been to. And I think it's probably my most beautiful as well. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's just like pinch me. It doesn't even seem real. Very, very excited.
5 million stars.
Oh, that's right. Well, the skeeters have been pretty relentless this whole trip, but I've been using 100% DEET, and it's been keeping them pretty much off me, which is awesome. Tonight for dinner is chicken fettuccine. This is also Backpacker Pantry, and I'm excited to try it. Shoot this is my ending scene here real quick.
All right. I have to put rocks in here. Slow you down.
These views out here are incredible. Good morning. It is day number 3 of the trip. We are getting ready to pack up a light day pack and head to the Titcomb Basin. I believe we'll be hiking somewhere around 3 miles, maybe a little under, just to get to the base of the Titcomb Basin. And I'm excited to see that place and see what it looks like. I've seen it in videos, but now I get to see it in person. This just keeps getting more and more beautiful. I'm running out of words to describe the majesty of this place. It's difficult to put into words the energy of this place, and I hope that I'm conveying some of the beauty. I've been brought to almost tears of joy and gratitude a couple of times on this hike.
Woohoo, baby!
Holy moly, we have made it to our destination at the head of Titcomb Basin. We're going to have lunch here with this absolutely insanely beautiful view. Well, of all the random things to happen on the trail, we run into this guy. You guys might recognize Coach. He was in my Yellowstone video. He's been in some of my own Frontier, Joey Coconato's videos. And just by chance, we ran into him. Bryan said hello to him. He said hello back in that southern accent, and I knew right away it was Coach. I just said, Coach!
What a treat.
I know. He came back up to our campsite, and we decided to go ahead and stay another night, hang out with Coach. He's got an extra meal for us. Our only issue was a lack of food, so he's going to take care of that. And we're all going to hang out tonight and have fun. Coach has found a nice flat spot over there. Getting all set up. He's just a few feet away from us. He's actually a little closer to the fire pit.
Gloves, but they're great liners, and they're great if it's cold. They don't want to
We've just been enjoying some great conversation. We had a nice dinner. Now we're going to sit around this nice warm fire. It's been totally awesome to run into Coach, and I'm still just can't believe this happened. But it was meant to be, and we're going to spend another night out here. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off from night number 3. Good night. Good morning. It is day 4, which should have been our final day of the trip. However, running into Coach changed all that. And I'll tell you, one of the most beautiful things about this new lifestyle that I have is that I can decide to extend my trip for another day if I want to. I know a lot of people have to rush on home and get back to their jobs, and they wouldn't have that luxury. So I feel very grateful that I'm able to do that, and we're doing it because we can. Today we have about 5 miles to go to our next camp, And we could potentially hike out of here today if we really wanted to, but we don't want to. We're gonna stay out here because we can and enjoy it as long as we can. So cheers to that.
This steak is not laying around here. I'll take this down.
Still no sign of that?
No, no.
When we woke up, not a cloud in the sky, and here's a nice big thunderhead right to the east of us. All right, the troops are all prepared. Camp is packed up, and we are ready to hike 5 miles to Hobbs Lake. We are stopping here for a little lunch break. We have some pretty ominous skies above us and hearing some thunder. So we want to go ahead and make sure we eat some lunch before it starts raining. I moved all my rain gear to the top of my pack because it was buried down there a little bit. I wasn't expecting any rain today. It didn't look like it at all this morning, but you just never know in the mountains. The mountains create their own weather. Bryan scoped it out and found us this really sweet spot to call home for the night. We have some real level areas for our tents, a beautiful view of Hobbs Lake, a nice area for us to hang out at, and this is going to be a great place to spend our last night. It started raining on us right after I checked in from our lunch break, and it rained until just about maybe 5 minutes before we got to this spot. So now it looks like it's clearing up, and we should be able to set up under dry skies. And this is going to be great. This is going to be a great last night. Got a little firewood going here, thanks to Coach.
And Cat.
Here is our view from camp. Another beautiful view. That's their job. To be obnoxious. So Bryan, what'd you think about this trip?
This is an absolutely awesome trip. There's not much climbing. It's relatively easy. The scenery, as Catherine says, is just speechless, off the scale, beautiful. But it is crowded, and there's no way to avoid that. But the scenery is well worth it.
Well, this was an epic trip for me because it's my first time in the Wind Rivers, and the beauty is just beyond description. But what even makes it more epic than epic could be was the fact that I ran into some friends by chance, unbeknownst to either one of us or any of us, that we were all that I was going to be here, or that you were going to be here. So that just made it that much more special. So there were other people, but the majesty of the Wind River is unmatched.
I agree. And when I asked you what you thought of the trip, it actually wound up being, it was your trip alone, but wound up being our trip together in the end, which is really amazing.
Made it that much better.
Absolutely.
All right, Catherine, it is your turn. What did you think about this trip?
I was absolutely blown away by the Wind Rivers, and particularly, I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to, but this hike to Titcomb Basin. You know, we got to experience some of this, the, forest, and then we went into the subalpine and then into the complete alpine. And the beauty of this place just blew my mind. The wildflowers were off the charts. We had kind of a mix of sun and clouds, but that was really cool because it added to the texture, of the mountains. Got to see some alpenglow, and it just was amazing. Running into Coach was the icing on the cake. I mean, who would have ever thought we'd see him? We just happened to cross paths, at the same time. I mean, if we would have stopped somewhere for 5 minutes, or he would have stopped somewhere, we would have missed him. So it was just meant to be that we ran into Coach, and that made it really special. And, the mosquitoes have been horrible.
Yes.
But you know what? We don't care. We've had just a great time. We've sat outside around the fire till 10 p.m. at night, and we've learned to live with them. It was an amazing trip. I want to thank Bryan for inviting me.
You are very welcome.
Yeah. And we still have this evening. It's not over yet. And we'll have a nice evening by the fire. And we'll all hike out together tomorrow. And we have about 6.5 miles to hike out tomorrow. So we still have a little of the trip left. We'll be going back the same way we came. But we'll be seeing it from a different perspective. So yeah, it's been awesome. Well, the skies look pretty cool, but it is starting to rain on our parade and our fire. Well, it started pouring down rain and there's big thunder happening and it's windy, really stormy all of a sudden, so now I'm in my tent. So I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight here and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is day 5 of the trip, our final day. We had this awesome storm blow through last night. It just came out of nowhere. There was lightning, thunder, rain, pretty heavy winds at some points, pretty heavy gusts. So we just kind of hunkered down in our tents, but as I was talking to Coach this morning, it was really nice. He was saying how just hearing the rain falling and the thunder and the lightning and seeing the flashes through your tent, it was actually really kind of calm and soothing. Then the sky just lit up pink a little bit later on. It was pretty awesome, actually. Pretty cool last night of the trip. Okay, this is going to be the end of a phenomenal trip, absolutely stunning. I want to thank Bryan Delay for inviting me. It was wonderful to get to know you. Bryan has a channel as well. I'm going to link that below, so make sure to check out his channel. And then Coach, it was awesome running into you.
So awesome.
Coach has a channel as well. I'll link that below as well. And yeah, thanks for coming along. It was absolutely epic.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next time. Bye.